everybody out there in YouTube land. I'm Red, and I just thought that, for a while now I've been wanting to start a YouTube channel, but it's kind of scary, putting yourself out there for, the whole world to see if they run across you or whatever, care to look at you. But I thought, what better time to actually go ahead and get it started than 3:45 in the morning after hardly any sleep. And I woke up at 8:30 this morning. Yesterday morning, after like 4 hours. Yeah, about 4 hours of sleep. Oh well, I'm here. I'm doing it. Finally, whatever works, right? Anyway, I thought I'd do a, pardon me, I have allergies. I thought I'd do a little introduction video like everybody else does. Well, I am 31 years old, divorced, mother of 3. My babies live with their daddy. Sorry. They, for financial reasons. I was a stay-at-home mom. I had them 24/7. Letting them live with him was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. But it was what was best for them. Because, making ends meet's hard, especially when you've been at home doing no outside work for 10 years. Not many people want to hire you, Anyway, real quick before we go on any further, I do have ADD, so sometimes I get a little scattered and get off track, and I apologize for that. So, well, that explains that. Anyway, my babies are, my son is 10 and a half. My oldest daughter will be 7 this month. Well, my youngest daughter just turned 3 in July. So, she wasn't even walking when I had to leave. So, anyway, yeah, more about me. That's my biggest thing, is my babies. And also, I'm an artist. I like to draw. I'm decent at it, But my biggest things are mixed media, like paper. I work with paper a lot, like collages and things like that. Also, photo manipulation. I like to do fantasy works from stock photos and things, and I'm pretty proud of my work. And sometime I'll get some stuff together and show it if anybody's interested. If anybody even watches my channel. Anyway, also, I think the main reason I really wanted to start this channel is because I am slowly but surely training myself to become a witch. I have been drawn to it all my life. Ever since I can remember, child, I've been drawn to the supernatural and things the unseen things and things we just don't know about yet. But I was raised in a Baptist church. That's pretty stuffy. I was very sheltered, but I always had that connection to something outside of the realm of ordinary. And in every house, I moved over 30 times in my life, and in every single house I lived in, I could tell you if there was some sort of spirit or entity of some sort there. And most generally, they were very, didn't cause any problems. I could just feel them. Now, I will say I did live in one place that had something bad there, very apparently, but that's a whole other story, so I won't get into that right now. I think the first thing I really remember focusing that it was a witchcraft thing was in the 4th grade. Me and a few friends, it was pretend to us, even though it was real, but it was pretend. We were 4th graders, kids think crazy things. And I freaked my dad out a little bit, though. We had our little coven. We would pretend to go into trances, and we'd draw pentagrams on the ground, and we'd do little chants and spells, and sit under the tree at school. We were a little bitty coven. Of course, I don't even know if we called ourselves that, but that's basically what we were. And I remember that all through my life. Little bits of, I've always been just drawn, movies about it, everything. It was something that just pulled me. And I was sheltered, like I said. But when I was 10, my mom left. my mom and dad had been married at a very young age, and it just didn't work. And I've forgiven her a long time ago for that. She had to do what she had to do. And I'm thankful for it, to be absolutely honest, because when she left, she went into a world that I would have never seen anything like it if they hadn't. I would have been even more sheltered. It's her world was that opening for me to learn new things and really realize what the world was about. And it turned out a good thing. But see, when like I said, I was just dabble here and there, just curious. I never really got into it because I didn't know anything about it. I didn't even know how. We didn't have internet back then, so I just went with the flow. And if I heard someone talk about it, I talk about it with them and learned here and there just a couple little bitty things. It wasn't until I was 19 and I was living with a couple girls from work, and one of them told me, "Oh, she's a witch, and she's Wiccan," and I was amazed. I mean, it came up during it was Halloween night, and we were going to some stupid place that we probably would have gotten ourselves in trouble, and I was talking to my little brother that had passed away when he was a baby. I was like looking at the sky. I had dedicated a real bright star on the sky. That was him. I had always talked to him. And we were on our way there, and we were in this back of my friend's boyfriend's car. Gorgeous, some red convertible. I don't even remember what it was, but it was an old one. Anyway, we hit this bump hard. Almost threw my friend out of the back of the car, and then his car started smoking. So, needless to say, we didn't get to go get ourselves in trouble. We had to pull over in the nearest drive, which was the local cemetery, is where my little brother, is buried, actually, which is interesting. But anyway, I am dragging this out really far. So we stayed out all night until the boyfriend's dad came and helped us out. But we walked that cemetery, and she was telling us about Wicca. This girl, now that I know more, yeah. But I had a taste for it. I wanted more. I wanted to hear what she had to say. So, we tried to, make our little spells, the three of us, blah, blah, blah. And I read the book, Ride a Silver Broomstick, Silver Raven Wolf. Isn't that what it's called? I know there's bad opinions about her, but I really haven't formed an opinion about her yet. But that was just the first witchcraft book I ever read. And, we did our spells, and nothing ever came of anything until one day I was missing my boyfriend, who lived in Kansas City. I was missing him, so I did a spell to see him, and there he was there the next day. But, my girlfriend decided that it was not right for me to do a spell on my own. I should never have done that. I think she was just mad that it worked. Anyway, it wasn't shortly after that I met my, what would have turned out to be an ex. That was weird. What would have turned out to be my ex-husband. And we got married really, really, really fast. I mean, like, we went on first date February 2nd. That was Friday, and then the next Monday I proposed to him. Thought getting married would be fun. I was stupid. We were married on March 23rd. I found out I was pregnant with my son on May 8th. Gave birth to him January 15th the next year. By the time he was 6 months old, I wanted out of the marriage. Fast forward 9 years. Finally leave. But I don't want to fast forward through all that because there's a big part in there. When he was about 2, we found this. We were just kind of. I still researched some Wicca and stuff, and my husband didn't like it. I mean, he didn't really stop to it or anything, but he didn't like it. We found this church, very something I had never seen before. Very charismatic, hugely charismatic church. And I will thank them for one thing. I did find God. I actually experienced God. That's one thing I will never let go of, is my love for God. And now it's translated into the love for the God and the goddess, both together. And I'm still learning things, but I feel them so strongly within me. And anyway, that church wound up hurting us. We were there for 6 years, I think 6 years, and I had both my girls when we were in that church, and they, hurt us. And then the church that we had communed with through them hurt us because of them. And then when we had wound up with some other friends that were also hurt by these churches, we were making our own little home church. And when I decided to leave to better myself because I was in a controlling situation, I was in the wrong because I was leaving a sacred vows of marriage. So that church disowned me as well. So I won't probably ever go back to a church. I went once, my kids had a VBS show, so I went for them, but that was the only reason I would go. Anyway, let's see, I left in 2010, so it's been almost exactly 2 years in October. And I started, reading books here and there. So much was going on. This past 2 years have been so crazy. And I read books, and I just really started getting closer and closer and closer. And I just, in the past, I say 3 or 4 months, I started feeling this draw. I mean, I already had this connection with God, but it was like the goddess was pulling me and trying to show me things. Because I finally got the internet at home, and it's like everything where I turned, there was something looking. And then I somehow, I don't even remember how I got onto YouTube I usually just look at funny videos or music videos or whatever. And about 3 or 4 months ago, I found Tiptoe Chick, and I fell in love with her. She made it sound so non-religious, because even when I was reading these books, there was still so much religion in them, and I can't have that anymore. I've been there, done that. I refuse, because that's just man. I don't care what the base core is. It's man telling you have to do this and this, but don't do this and don't do this. And I won't do that anymore. But I was coming into a Tiptoe, and the way she explained things, and it was all about making your spirituality personal to you, not what everybody else has to tell you. Yeah, there are things you have to learn, and facts and stuff like that, but it's not like it's things you incorporate, not things you have to firm, strong laws and rules and blah blah blah. Obviously, the rule of 3 and things like this, but I found her, and I found charming Pixie Flora, which I love. She's so bright and bubbly and just makes me smile just seeing her face. Anyway, but then I found finding Moonmother, Jacqueline Dubois, Real Witches of Orange County. That's when it really hit me, because she had this whole entire world built around her that she had co-created her own world, really. And I want that. I want it. Gotta have it. So I've been delving, and I've been studying, and my screensaver kicked in. I apologize. I can't see myself. Retarded. There I am. Anyway, laughter is important. I believe that wholeheartedly. Live by it. Best medicine. Whoop. Anyway, guys, that's about the gist of it. It's gone on long enough, I'm guessing. So, I'm going to try to update this as much as I can. Hopefully next time I won't look so tired and might have something a little more appropriate on. Okay. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed meeting me, because I really want to meet you guys. I have this hunger and this thirst for meeting people who think like I do, and that I need it. I don't care if you're near me or if you're just, another country away, and just talk to me, help me. I need you to. I can't do this all by myself. I need to hear stories. I need to just dig in with both hands and just get dirty, and I love it. Alright? You guys have a great night, day, morning, whatever you're having, and I love you. Stay awesome. Mwah.